Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in Flora, Mississippi, coming to you from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. It is Tuesday. Unfortunately, Miss Women's Wellness herself, Morgan Charlie, is not with us today. She is out there learning all about how to run a campaign. I joke with her about that. But there is, oh, actually, there's several events going on this afternoon, this evening. One of those being a political fundraiser. I think it's a crawfish bowl, actually, for Morgan's other half. I won't say her better half. I'm kidding, Todd McAlpin, who is running for Madison County Court Judge. There will be a crawfish fundraiser for him. I had the address somewhere in Madison off of Highway 51 this evening. There is also in the local area another fundraiser this evening for Scott Gilbert, who is running for goodness, it's one of the judges, but I will say the wrong thing. I'll have to look it up and see so I can make sure I tell you the right thing. But he is also having a fundraiser, I believe, in Canton tonight, this evening, somewhere Panther Creek, I believe, is what the neighborhood where that will be held. And then it's also expected that our former Speaker of the House here in Mississippi, Mr. Philip Gunn, will be announcing his run for that top office, governor of the state of Mississippi, over in Clinton this afternoon. So, different things happening tonight. If you want to have a candidate that you support and you want to get out there and support them, this would be the day to do it. I was telling Sean, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just stay home. Who knows? You never know where you might find me out there in the crowd, in the wild west. But it is a beautiful afternoon outside. It is Tuesday. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, we are live right here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios as well. You can always find us on WIAB.com, stream the audio-only version of the show there. Or old school, you can just listen on your FM radio dial, 1039. Old Faithful, that's where you could definitely always find us. And you can also call in, give your views, your opinions, your thoughts on the show today. The number to call in to the station is 601-879-0002. We also have a text line. That number is 601-879-4648. So there are lots of things to get into today, lots of things to break down. I saw earlier that the court has thrown out our President Donald Trump's lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal when it comes to the lawsuits that he filed about the Epstein files, the things that the Wall Street Journal had posted having to do with Epstein. It was a 100, I'm guessing, no, I'm sorry. I thought that said 108, 10B, so $10 billion lawsuit that was thrown out. That's now being reported officially. I can never get service in the studio. It just, it doesn't like me. Our Wi-Fi does not like me. So anyway, that's breaking news this morning, or it may have been yesterday, but a federal judge did throw out the $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal after President Trump sued the paper last July for its reporting on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book. You'll remember, if you can even think back that far, so much has happened since then, but the birthday card that the Wall Street Journal posted about, saying that President Trump drew Jeffrey Epstein this picture and he signed it. President Trump said that was false information and he did sue the Wall Street Journal. But again, that has been thrown out. It looks as though there is a local judge, a Hinds County judge, who might be in a little bit of hot water. Now, I have gotten several messages from different people over the last couple of years, and I mean, it's not really anything I could do to help them, I don't think, but I have had people tell me and complain to me about this particular judge, and it is being reported that this Hinds County judge, the Supreme Court, the Mississippi Supreme Court, has reversed her order, and she is now vacated by the Supreme Court. So this particular post says that, believe it or not, some judges ignore the law, violate litigants' rights, and threaten lawyers who stand up for what's right. It's sad, but it does happen. But this past week, some level of justice was served by the Mississippi Supreme Court, not 100% justice. But when you operate in a world of judges with near absolute power and the checks and balances are truly stacked against any change or accountability, we celebrate even the small victories. So, the Mississippi Supreme Court, their 3 justices' opinion found that this judge, I'm not sure how to say her name, Hodges Lindsey, has denied basic constitutional due process protection. Also, she has not been giving opportunities to call witnesses and admit evidence. So when the Supreme Court rules in this manner, I think everybody should take a good long look at what's going on in Hinds County. How much corruption is there? Where does it stop? This woman is controlling custody issues. Her judgments, her rulings decide what happens to a child in a custody situation. That's scary. Extremely scary, in my opinion, because our children are our most precious asset, so to say. They're the most vulnerable, and they depend on us to protect them, make sure they're safe, take care of them, provide for them. So if we have a justice system that is incompetent or corrupt, how is it possible to make sure that children are put in the best situation possible in order to achieve the best outcome possible? Of course, this is not the first of Hinds County's woes when it comes to elected officials. I know we have beat that drum to death, but former Mayor Chokwe Lumumba, and then, of course, DA Jody Owens, Soros-funded DA, by the way, are also facing criminal charges. Oh, Hinds County, Hinds County. Get it together, Hinds County. Obviously, yesterday we talked a good bit about President Trump and the satirical meme, photo, AI creation, whatever it is that you would like to call it, that was put out on his Truth Social account Sunday evening, along with his rant about the Pope. Now, I said yesterday that I was disgusted by the photo that he posted, basically portraying himself as Jesus Christ. Now, after I got off air yesterday, I saw that President Trump had responded to the criticism about this photo that was posted to his Truth Social. He claims that he believed it was a picture showing him as a doctor, a healer, coming to heal the sick. And then he backed that up saying because that's what he does. I'm sure by now you've all seen the photo. I completely stand behind what I said yesterday. It was blasphemy. I believe he fully knew that that photo was depicting him as our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. There's no way that you look at that photo and don't know what it is trying to insinuate. I've seen lots of doctors in my day. I have 5 kids. Of course, I have seen lots of doctors, and I have never, ever seen a doctor walk in a robe with light being emitted from his hands. This beautiful lit up glow as he touches his patient. Never seen that from a doctor. We know that President Trump's not an idiot, right? He's been very successful in the business world and he is the king of comebacks. I mean, just look at how he was able to come back after lawsuits and convictions and allegations. A stolen election, January 6th, whatever it is that you want to say about those things, he was able to come back from all of that, win the Electoral College and the popular vote in the last presidential election. So he's not an idiot. He knew. He knew what that picture portrayed. He did take that photo down, I guess, after realizing that you have now infuriated billions of Catholics across the world. It might be in your best interest to downplay that. So I think at least that shows that he's listening to someone. Someone got to him and said, "What are you doing? This is not going to be well received." Of course, I also heard him make the statement yesterday, and I cringe at this. Oh, I don't care about Riley Gaines. I never really liked her much anyway. Riley Gaines, just back up, Trump, because I have seen you praise that young woman, and she stepped out on faith with all the courage in the world to speak out about something when no one else was doing that. Boys and girls sports. How she tied with the biological male swimmer she was competing against, and yet they gave him the medal anyway. Having to share a locker room, change, and shower in front of a known biological male. How humiliating that was. How scary that was. How she knew how wrong this was, that this was being allowed to happen. She has been a voice for female athletes across this country. She, to me, is a true role model for young girls. In fact, I allowed she was upper elementary at the time. I allowed my daughter to skip school to go see and hear Riley speak next to Governor Tate Reeves a few years ago. There was no reason to make those comments. She called it out like she saw it just like I did. You know, I understand we didn't elect someone to be our moral compass or our pastor here. I get that. We elected someone to run our country. But this country was founded on Christian religious beliefs. Sean and I debate that, but I believe it wholeheartedly. And he made a lot of people really angry with this photo. And I don't believe for one second that he thought it depicted him as a doctor or someone from the Red Cross. I think he knows that we are not that stupid. And I think that's why he did something he very rarely does and he removed it, as he should. Do I think we'll ever get an apology? Or a, hey, maybe I should have thought about posting that before I did it? Or maybe I shouldn't do things, make such rash decisions when it comes to what I put on social media? I very seriously doubt that it will get that far. But thank God he at least took it down. It shows that at least someone that he is listening to came to him with some common sense. We got to take a break. We ran over a little bit, but there's lots more to discuss. There is something that should be all over the headlines, yet I have really not seen it anywhere. And we are going to talk about that and break that down when we get back right here, WIAB 1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Don't go anywhere. .1039, The Lindsey Beckham Show. Don't go anywhere.
.1039 WYAB.
I'm Sean Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
I've always believed that being your jeweler means being there for you with the highest quality jewelry repair and custom design services in the state. I'm John Ravenstein.
I'm Corey Ravenstein. That's why here at Juniker Jewelry Company, you'll find the largest team of fine jewelry professionals and artisans in Mississippi.
Only here at Juniker's will you find 4 master goldsmiths. We do everything in-house. Your jewelry never leaves our shop.
We even have jewelry designers on staff to help you create that one-of-a-kind piece you've always dreamed of.
Juniker's master craftsmen set the stones, work the metals, and polish everything to perfection.
There is almost nothing we can't create or fix like new again.
For Mississippi's finest jewelry repair and true old-world craftsmanship, come see us at Juniker Jewelry Company.
Our trusted jewelry professionals are here for you.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and junikerjewelry.com.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi, my name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
Looking to make technology work for your business instead of the other way around? Visit brentech.ms today. From reliable network infrastructure and wireless internet to cloud or on-premise backups, Brentech has solutions that keep your business connected, secure, and running smoothly. Don't let tech headaches slow you down. Discover how Brentech can simplify and elevate your business at brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. Brentech, technology made easy.
Come on down to Ascension. Come on in, Sunday worship 10 a.m. Amen. Jackson, Mississippi will sing with you. Pastor Christine sharing good news. Come on down to Ascension. Join the choir. Feel God's love lifting you higher. Ascension Lutheran Church for saving you a few. Come together.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. You are tuned in to the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are live here, also streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. 601-879-0002 is the number if you would like to call in, give your thoughts, opinions, statements, critiques on the show today. You can also text into our text line, 601-879-4648. There's some things I want to get into that I feel like should be headline news, but I also wanted to share that it seems as though Riley Gaines has made a response to President Trump saying yesterday that he's never actually been a big fan of Riley Gaines. She said last night that at the end of the day, I do nothing for the approval of man, no matter who that man is, including the president. Riley Gaines has been a class act since she started advocating for women's sports. So I would expect nothing less of her than to make a classy comment that like she did. But over the weekend, we learned some things that I think are quite interesting. Y'all know I love to be right. I love, love, love to be right. Nobody wants to be wrong, but I mean, I really, really feel like I need to be right. If I speak about something, I want to feel pretty confident in what I'm saying because I never want to be wrong. Maybe that's part of growing up an only child. I don't know. Probably not, because my oldest daughter is the same way. So maybe it's just genetics because she has 4 siblings. But this should be headlines everywhere, and yet it's not. I wonder why. So a Pfizer insider, Dr. Helmut Stearns, just testified at a German parliament hearing. Now, this man is an expert. He was literally, I know y'all love that word. He was one of the ones overseeing the testing and the safety of medications at Pfizer in Europe before they could even advance to clinical trials. He's a former head of toxicology in Europe. And he just came out a few days ago and confirmed something that all of us conspiracy theorists have been shouting from the rooftops. He estimates that around 60,000 people in Germany alone have died from the COVID vaccine. Not COVID. The COVID vaccine. Now, you wonder why this isn't massive news all over every news station and newspaper out there. Seems as though the mainstream media has received or is receiving millions of dollars in funding from Bill Gates, who is deliberately wanting to cover this up. I find that extremely interesting because if you go back and look, some of the things released in the Epstein files, it's Bill Gates himself talking with Epstein about a virus and a pandemic years before we ever heard of COVID. Now, this statement was made by this doctor, again, at a parliamentary inquiry commission. That's what they call it in Germany. Again, I love to be right, but this was one time that I really hoped I was wrong. This was one time that I could see what was about to happen, but I was hoping that I was somehow wrong about this vaccine. Seems as though I wasn't. Usually, I absolutely love to say, I told you so. Right now, I get no thrill from that. So Elon Musk has been talking about this as well. He said the vaccine dosage was obviously too high and too many doses were given. He also says that he had COVID before there was a vaccine and it was much like any other cold or flu, bad but not terrible. Then he got his second vaccine shot and he said it almost sent him to the hospital. He felt like he was dying. Lots of people did die. Now, the dose ranging for clinical safety and efficacy skipped with the mRNA vaccines. Rigorous research was ignored for over 30 years of mRNA research, and people have paid the price with their lives. Still, we see doctors, hospitals, health departments pressuring the public to continue to get this vaccine. It's extremely sad. This is one thing I said yesterday. My biggest issue with our president, other than the absolutely ridiculous, blasphemous photo that he posted Sunday evening, is that he still taunts Operation Warp Speed as one of his biggest accomplishments. And I still wonder how many American people listen to him talk about the vaccine being safe and effective, went out and got that vaccine, and then lost their lives because of it. I think he by now must know that there was not nearly enough safety testing or time working on this vaccine before it was pushed out to the public. He must know by now that it has cost many people their lives. He must know by now that we are seeing healthy children and athletes fall dead suddenly. Myocarditis, pericarditis, all of these heart inflammatory diseases, the numbers rising like wildfire. He must know by now that this was a mistake. I think even some of the most pro-vaxxers out there would rethink a decision when it comes to the COVID vaccine. No longer are us mamas who people used to call crazy anti-vaxxers, no longer do they say that. They stop and listen these days because of what we saw with the COVID vaccine. Where is the apology? Where is the, hey, I might have jumped the gun on this. Hey, maybe I should have gotten more information. Hey, even if it was just, hey, I was fed the wrong information and I trusted the people in my circle. Even shift the blame. But don't continue to say that this is a great accomplishment when we clearly have proof that many people paid the ultimate price by listening to the government saying, if you want to stay safe, if you want to keep grandma safe, if you're a good person, then you got to do this. I'll never understand it, and I will never, ever forgive the ones behind it that knew better when they pushed this out. And I think what I know is that at least President Trump should acknowledge that. We got to take a break. Y'all stay with us. Lots more to talk about here today on The Lindsey Beckham Show, WYOB, WYAB 1039. We will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
I'm Sean Yurtkaran, and I've spent nearly 20 years in the courtroom, first as a prosecutor in Hinds County, now fighting for my clients as a defense attorney. I know how the system works, and I know how to protect your rights. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call me at 601-862-1320 or visit me at onetextlaw.com. That's onetextlaw.com. Serious cases need serious defense. And remember, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Let's get to work.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to ring partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Ream and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
CBS News Brief. The first direct talks in decades involving Israel and Lebanon are taking place in Washington. But CBS's Robert Berger says Hezbollah is a notable absence.
You have a Lebanese government that seems to have goodwill toward Israel, willing, it says, to disarm Hezbollah, but it simply doesn't have the power to do that.
President Trump has indicated it's possible talks with Iran could restart. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi.
We are told that there are potentially some talks that could happen soon. We yesterday could report that there were some diplomatic back channels where the U.S. and Iran were talking through.
Forecasters say tens of millions of people from Texas on up to New York could be in the path of violent weather later today. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
Multiple confirmed tornadoes during the night ravaging portions of the central U.S. And if not tornadoes, there were several severe thunderstorms.
CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
Smart business owners will tell you the best time to start a new business is now. Whether you're thinking of starting a new business or expanding an existing one, the perfect location is the Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora. Over 13,000 cars will pass by your business each and every day on Highway 49. Space is available now, so what are you waiting for? Call the Cotton Exchange Plaza at 601-879-3503 to find out how you can expand your business today. The Cotton Exchange Plaza in Flora, where we mean business.
Have a large fleet of vehicles? Looking for somewhere to provide routine maintenance? Tired of waiting on an appointment? Ken here with Rapid Oil Change. We accept most local and national fleets as well as 30-day in-house accounts with no appointment needed. We offer maintenance packages to fit any need. Oil changes, wipers, tires, car washes, and more. Have a diesel? No sweat. We carry diesel exhaust fluid and diesel fuel filters. With over 40 years of experience, Rapid Oil is the right choice for your fleet. Stop in today and let us keep your fleet ready and on the road.
The best investment on earth is earth. This is real estate agent Shane Saxton. As I like to say, the government can print more money, but they can't print more land. In the past 2 years, I've sold over $100 million in real estate. Call me today to get your land and home sold, because Saxton Sales isn't just a slogan. It's backed up by hundreds of satisfied clients just like you.
Find one of Mississippi's top real estate agent, Shane Saxton, on Facebook, or call Shane at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Whether you're at home, in your car, or on the field, let Shelter be your shield. Come see me, Jamie Creel.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's Complete Flag.
Welcome back to the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are streaming live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios in the heart of Flora, Mississippi, the Cotton Exchange Plaza. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And of course, on your FM radio dial, 103.9. You can also stream the audio version of the shows, any show, actually, during the day at wyab.com. So we've been breaking down more of President Trump's comments over the last few days that have caused quite the controversy, as well as these new revelations when we look at the COVID vaccine. I want to read a few of your comments that we have received. We have an unknown texter who says, I believe the vaccine also caused a lot of people to get sleep apnea, which affects the heart as well. That's very true. Also, unknown texter says, Lindsey, the devil did all of that yesterday. The evil folks at the Vatican put that guy in there to get at Trump. He was a surprise candidate for Pope and didn't really deserve the position. But evil knew it was a way to use him, and then Trump to further divide the world. Trump, who is sometimes seemingly too prideful and impatient and impulsive, bought into it with the Pope, with the Post, and fighting with the Pope, chaos and division, and they both bought into it. I wrote the president yesterday because, yes, it bothered me too. They both need to repent, as do I first before them, or we may not end up in a good position. I'm reminded of how it turned out for Nebuchadnezzar. This same texter did text in yesterday as well, and said you should encourage all believers to contact President Trump. If he did this, he needs to repent. We as a country will pay for it along with him. And then a way to contact the White House. Yes, and obviously, I believe that we should absolutely hold our elected officials accountable. That's the way our government was set up and what it was intended for us to do. A government of the people, for the people, by the people. And I think a lot of people did that yesterday, and I think that President Trump knew he had really caused quite the chaos, which in turn, I think was the reason he decided to remove the post. But a lot of times elected officials get into these positions of power and they forget who they work for and how they got there, who elected them. They're an employee of the people. And so you don't get to complain about what's going on if you don't let your voice be heard. Let your elected officials know when they do something that doesn't align with the reasons why you voted for them. I've said before, and I'll say it again, and I truly believe it. A politician's biggest fear is not being reelected. Obviously, I think the photo was quite the blunder. I do think he knew exactly what the photo portrayed. I think it's absurd to say that he didn't, or that he thought it was him as a doctor. There's just absolutely no way. I've seen a lot of posts made talking about proud leaders, humility, comparing President Trump to Nebuchadnezzar. I've seen a lot of posts made that want to talk about putting things into perspective and how God has used proud, arrogant, narcissistic leaders to accomplish his purpose. How, in fact, God has humbled those leaders many times. But I've also seen a lot of people saying, relax. Don't be angry about it. It's all in God's plan. And yeah, I do believe in God's plan. Absolutely. I told you yesterday, I truly, wholeheartedly believe that God placed a hedge of protection around Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. I believe we would be in a lot worse shape right now with Kamala Harris at the helm of the ship. But I'm not just going to relax and be quiet and shut up and go away and not talk about something that I think was really a slap in the face to every single Christian. Actually, it should be to every single person. Jesus was nailed to a cross. Nailed to a cross. The only figure throughout history to ever defeat death itself is Jesus Christ. And again, one thing that really gets me riled up is thinking about the midterms and then even the next presidential election, because the things that President Trump does in office today will affect who wins those elections, which in turn affects all the American people. Yeah, he's out of there in a few years. Can't run again. But we still have to live with whoever's elected next. And if he continues to make enemies out of huge groups of people then the most logical thing I can see happening is voters staying home, not getting out to vote, or going in the opposite direction. That pendulum always swings hard. And I think those are things he needs to be thinking about. He needs to be thinking about those things right now with every decision he makes, with every post he puts out to the public. Like I tell my kids, once you've put something out there, it's out there. You can't take it back. And it will follow you. Things can be dug up and follow you for the rest of your life. You have to be so incredibly careful what you put out for the world to see. And I think that's also some advice our president should take as well. We're going to go ahead and take our last break here on this Tuesday afternoon on the Lindsey Beckham Show. I want to tell you guys about something when we get back. I think is really cool and show you how to access it. It's something that I think would be fun to share with your children throughout the day today. Stay with us. This is our last break, and we will be right back here, WIB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show.
WYAB. Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, experience counts, and the Rusty Healy Agency has been serving Madison and the rest of the Jackson Metro for over 35 years. Local agent Landon Thompson is keeping that trusted tradition going strong. As a local independent agent, he's not locked into one provider. The Rusty Healy Agency can shop the top insurance companies to find the best fit for you. And everyone knows that the Rusty Healy Agency and Landon Thompson offer top quality local customer service. Contact Landon today at 601-856-3681.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. Why is Rita Jensen the type of real estate professional you are looking for?
As a mortgage professional, I look for making transactions easier, and Rita Jensen with Rematch Connection is a prime example of that. Her attention to detail, her strong communication skills really help us as a mortgage company make everything smooth from start contract to close. She helps me.
RitaJensen.net. Looking for farm fresh produce, high quality local beef, dairy, and desserts? Look no further than the Farm Store in Flora. We've got the sweetest, juiciest fruits and vibrant vegetables from Two Dog Farms, plus premium beef, all from right here in the community. Whether you're cooking up a feast or just grabbing a healthy snack, the Farm Store has got you covered. Freshness you can taste, prices you'll love. Find us on Facebook at The Farm Store by Two Dog Farm.
Come together.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi Studios. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. You know, over the last several years, I've gotten a lot of great opportunities to go visit places and to see things that I never would have had the opportunity to do had it not been for my involvement in the parental rights movement and education, Moms for Liberty, President Trump's administration giving us a seat at the table. And for that, I'm forever thankful. One of the places I've gotten to see in person, and probably I think the one that affected me the most, was Ford's Theater, where Abraham Lincoln was shot. And it was April 14th, 1865, when that happened. Ford's Theater National Historic Site has a Facebook page, and they are going through the day in real time explaining what President Lincoln was doing that day. I think this is so cool. I think this is something that would be really fun to share with your children, those that are homeschooling especially. I think this would be great for them, something they could learn and kind of follow along. They talked about at 8 a.m. on April 14th, 1865, Abraham Lincoln sat down for a quick breakfast. He had bacon, toast, and strong coffee. They talked about Robert E. Lee's surrender just 5 days before. He took time to sign pardons for Union soldiers who had been condemned to death. Then at 11 a.m. that day, he sat down for his weekly cabinet meeting. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton remarked on how cheerful the president looked. With the war over, Lincoln and the cabinet finally focused on the task at hand, Reconstruction. Ulysses S. Grant also attended the meeting. They pressed him for news. He talked about a dream he had the night before. At 11:30, a messenger from the White House arrived at Ford's Theater. He brought news that the president and the first lady wished to reserve a box for that night's performance of Our American Cousin. Of course, we know what happened, the tragic events that played out that night. Being in that theater and seeing that exact spot where he was sitting, you get chills. I recommend everyone go if you get the chance. That's all the time we have for today. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. See you then. Bye.